guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos, DIY tutorials, budget videos, and the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I do load a new video. And if you could also comment, like, and share, that does help my channel grow, and it is truly appreciated. So today is lesson 3 in the hand lettering series from a beginner for beginners. And as I will be doing with all of these videos, if you are not at a level 0, so if you've never attempted, if you don't have the basic fundamental skills or strokes in your repertoire, then this isn't the video for you. Sorry, I had to think about what I just said. So if you know the different basic strokes, if you've done some lettering, again, this might be a little bit slow for you because I am actually still learning myself, and this lesson series is definitely designed for those who are either thinking of hand lettering or just starting the process themselves. Also, stay tuned for the end of the video where I'll be announcing something really special. All right, so as we do, this is the lettering DIY notebook that I have put together, and I will link that video below. Again, we are not even at the point where we can work in the 2 different workbooks I have in here, and I have this one right here. So we're going to flip to the back as we have been doing, and we'll work on some of our basic strokes. Now, I actually was able to do some practicing this past week. It was only one day, but it was still more than I did the last week. So I'm hoping this week will be better by way of, you know, how I'm structuring my letters. Now, depending on what you're using, I'm using Happy Planner, but you know, you just want to get out your writing utensil as well as your paper, and we'll get started with the lesson. Now, as I like to do in every lesson, and what I recommend for you as well, whether you are watching this lesson and working along with me, or whether you are doing some practice time on your own, I do recommend doing the very large E at the top of your page. Right now, the actual dimension of it doesn't matter. It's just you want to have that very large E up here, and then you also want to put your date. Now, I will always have a pencil here just because I believe with this fundamental practicing, a pencil works just as well. I do have one of my Kuretake pens, but I believe the way that this will be released, the whole video will come out after this, but I did pick these up from Target. Let me open this up. I walked by it when I was in Target thinking it was just regular mild liner pens, when in fact they are brush pens and mild liner pens. So I wanted to do some testing. I actually did not do that yet, so I don't even know if I'll like them. Now, it is double-sided, so you do have the, I don't know if you can see it, but the brush pen tip at the top, and then at the bottom you do have just a regular marker type pen. Now, just looking at it, I'm not sure how I feel because it looks to be more along the lines of a Tombow, which is kind of floppy and juicy, versus these Kuretake, which are shorter. Let me see if I can do a comparison. So yeah, if you look at it, the mild liner is just slightly taller than the Kuretake, and I like them because this is a little bit more of a firmer nib. I do like that it clicks in. I mean, you don't hear a click here, but I can feel that it's in there nicely, just because it extends the pen for you. Sometimes some of the pen caps don't click in nicely, and then you have a tendency to want to go closer to the barrel, but for brush lettering, it's easier and better for your letters if you work like in the middle of the barrel, okay? So since I've got this one in my hand, let's just try this one. Now, as I always recommend in the beginning of one of my lessons, let's just re-familiarize ourselves with some of the basic. So I want you to do a row of upstrokes. Oh, okay. It is not as floppy as you would think. Interesting. I really should have tested this out before I did the lesson, but you know, we're learning together. Yay. So I want you to do a row of the upstrokes, and I want you to do a row of the downstrokes. I like how that feels. And as I've mentioned, and I will continue to mention, the size of it right now doesn't matter. All that matters is if you start the row with one size, then you continue with that size all the way to the end of the row. And then once you've done your upstrokes and your downstrokes, then go ahead and bring me back and we'll start with the next part of the lesson. All right, guys, so that's the practice rows right there. And just so I can show you, I'll be doing this next step with a pencil. Now in lesson 2, last week's lesson, we learned how to do the underturn and the overturn. So the overturn is where you start thin and then you come down thick. With your pencil, you may not be able to see the difference, but I can feel the difference. I start with a light pressure and then I come down harder, so that, especially in that one, you can see that there is a difference in pressure, and that's in the event that you're not fully committed to the idea of brush lettering. This gives you all of the feel of it without, unfortunately, the look of it, although again you can see that there is some lightness and darkness there. So I want you to do a row of the overturn, and then I want you to do a row of the underturn where you come down thick and then you transition and lighten up pressure to work upwards. And so we're just making U's and upside down U's. Okay, so do a row of each. When you're done, bring me back and we'll go on with the next part of the lesson. All right, guys, so you've got your 4 rows here. Now, last week what I had to do is alternate them, but this week we're not going to do that. We're actually going to go into the brand new stroke, and because of that, that's the reason why we don't need to alternate. And what I mean is, for this week's strokes, the first one we're going to do is the compound stroke. So we're going to go up thin, we're going to come down thick, transition, and go back up thin. Okay, so you're going to do a funky letter like that. I don't even know what that is. I'm sure I should know what that is, but I don't, so we're just going to keep doing that. So again, you want to go thin up and come down thick, transition, and go in. Right now, it isn't so important for you to work on your transitions, because really what you want to work on is the control of coming down thick and then lightening up and going back up thin. Again, remember your placement of your pen. That's something I have to keep watching myself doing. And just go up thin and then come down thick, ease up, and then go back up and get the thin. We're not doing consistency. We're not doing beautiful transitions. Really, we just want to get in practice of the up, down, up. Now, the other row that I want you to practice is the reverse compound, where you're coming down thick and then you're going up thin, and then you're coming down thick. And as you can see, I mean, there definitely is a difference between the thinness here and those two right there. But if you look up here, when I start off thin, I seem to have a little bit more control than when I start down thick. So again, do a row of coming down and transitioning up into thin, and then increasing pressure and coming down thick. And I want you to do a row of each of those and then come back to me and we'll get started with the final portion of the lesson. All right, so we've got a row of compound curves and we have the reverse compound curve. Now for this last part of the lesson, what I want you to do is alternate between the compound curve, and I'm noticing something on my pen right now. So as you are working, if you are working on with a brush pen, what I want you to do is as you're doing your strokes, you may want to turn your pen a little so that you're not building in a curve, because you want this to be straight, and if you keep using the same position, you're eventually going to curve your pen. So if after a few letters you turn your pen so that you're always getting a different side of it, even though it is circular, then it might help with that. And so I want you to just do a couple of the overturns, a couple of the underturns, and then you can throw in an upstroke, a downstroke, and the overturn and the underturn. Because again, these are just all components of that, because if you look right there, that is that. So we're really we're making longer versions of the underturn, and we're making longer versions of the overturn. And I believe this is going to help us when we get into doing some connections with letters. So they may not actually make up specific letters on its own, but this is going to help us transition from one letter to the next. So go ahead and alternate between the various strokes that you've learned. You only need to do one row of that. And then once you're done, bring me back and we will finish up the lesson. Alrighty, so we've got our rows, and you can certainly continue, but for this, this is the end of the lesson for me. So at the top, we're actually going to do two different things. So I want you to do like you've been doing, is work on the word hello. And as always, because some of these I have not taught you yet, it's probably not going to be as nice as you want, but again, we're just really about practicing and getting some benchmarks of where we are in our lettering style. And as I've mentioned in the past, the only rule is that the top of the E, the top of the mid part of the H, and the top of the O should come in that middle part of the E, and the top of the H and the L's should go at the very top of the E. So go ahead and work on your hello. Bring me back. We'll work on actually a new word, and then we'll be done with the lesson, and I can tell you about that special announcement. All right, guys, so you've got your hello. Again, with mine, I start off okay with my lines. And this is something you want to be aware of, is you want to try to make your lines as parallel as you can. But then the way that it seems to end up is I tend to lean. So that is something I will need to work on. And I think part of the problem, and again, this is something I think you'll learn as you do more connection, is I don't think it should be that squished together. I think it actually should be more space in between. Again, we're starting out, so we're really just trying to get the feel of doing letters versus trying to make them perfect. Now, the new word that I want you to work on is actually a riff on everything we've learned. So all of this we have learned, okay? So what we're gonna do is the word mini. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? And I will need to do is this is the compound curve, and this is the reverse compound curve. Sorry, guys. All right, and get my pen back, and we're going to do the word mini. Now, I haven't attempted this, so we'll see how this goes. So we're going to start with this one here, which is the overturn, because we're going to come up thin and then come down thick. And I really should be trying to hit that middle line right there. And, okay, I don't actually how to know to do an M. So, and I know how to do an M, I just don't know how to do it in brush lettering. Because we wouldn't do this one here because it actually should connect. So I guess we would start another like semi-compound. Or do we do? So thin, thick, thin, thick. Nope, that doesn't look right. It's bad when your instructor doesn't actually know what she's doing. Okay, well, let's try this again. So we'll come up, and actually that should have been thick coming up. And then we're just going to keep going, guys, because I truly don't know how this is supposed to go. Because if that's, no, there would be, we're going to do it down here because I'm running out of room. All right, so watch me. Let me do all the mistakes, and then you guys do this. All right, so we're going to come down. And we're going to go up, thin, come down, thick. And then we're going to come up thin, down thick. And then we're going to come up thin, down thick. Again, I don't know if this is how it's supposed to be done, but this is how I'm doing it because I can't figure it out without actually watching a YouTube video. So that's our M. And the reason why I couldn't leave it at this, which you would normally think, and you'll see in a minute, is I'm going to go into the I. So I'm going to come down thick and then go up thin. And we actually can use that one. No, we can use that one right there where we come down or come up thin, come down thick, because you'll see that's how we do the N, and that's why we needed the 3 humps for the M, or it would have looked like ninny, which is what I feel like right now. And then you just come down in the underturn and you come up. All right, so let's see if we can do this with a little bit more flow. So we won't put as big of a tail. So we'll just come up, and come down, and then down, and then down, and straight up into our thin, come down in our underturn. Actually, this is our reverse because we can do the connection right there. And then we come up and we go up like that, and then we come down and we go like that. So mini. Now let's see if we can actually break this up into what the different strokes are. Sorry, I didn't intend on doing this, and then I'm like, well, what exactly is it that we're doing? Who knows? So if we do the overturn without the little boop there, so if we, and I hope you can see this, I hope this is in frame. So the overturn is, and then it comes down like that. And then we would do another overturn and come down like that. And then the final overturn and come down like that. Okay, and see, okay, so you're like, Johanna, you didn't finish. Here's the thing. This is where the other pen would come in, or the other color. Because we would do overturn, overturn, and then we would switch into compound curve because we can go straight up. And then we would do reverse compound curve, right? Because we would come down with the I, and then we go up thin, and then come down with the first part of the N, and then go back into the overturn. Oh, no. I feel so horrible, guys, because I'm not really teaching you anything. Because that would come down and up like that. It doesn't have the down, but that's okay. But I don't know if you can see it, but we've spelled the word mini with the different strokes. So let me see if I can do this with any kind of semblance. So overturn, overturn, and compound so that we're coming up. And then underturn. No, we had that one full letter there, so that would be the reverse compound. And up and down. And then up, and I'm not even holding my pen right. And then up. And you can see where it is the M, I, N, I, so mini. It's hard because it's so curvy. That doesn't look like the word mini unless you really focus on it. But breaking it out, that was a lot tougher than I thought it would be, guys. So you may want to keep practicing your minis just because you really are going to figure out, okay, what stroke am I using and why does this look so janky? Because that really does. So down, down. And it might be too that I am forming the word incorrectly, and that it actually should be more fluid than this. But yeah, because that one feels like it's not finished. And yeah, that actually looks better. So anyway, guys, this lesson was a hot mess. Again, let me make the mistakes and then you can just figure out what not to do. But I mean, this part is good. Again, when we get into the connections, that's when it becomes problematic for me. But the special announcement that I wanted to do is I didn't get around to doing an August giveaway. So what I've done is I went to the very first lesson, put that into the Random Generator Gods YouTube thingy, and I'll go ahead and insert the clip here. I know who won because I've already done it, but I'll go ahead and insert the clip here of who the winner is. Congratulations, Home with Feisty. Go ahead and DM me via Instagram, and I've got my Instagram address thing on the screen here, and then just DM me if you're interested in, oh, let me show you what you won. Sorry. This is what I picked up for the August giveaway. So it's a set of the Kuretake pens, as well as that lettering and modern calligraphy guide that I I have, again, I'm not even in this level yet, but if you can go ahead and DM me your address, I can go ahead and put this out in the mail. I don't know that I'll be doing hidden giveaways like this for the entire brush lettering series, although I do have some supplies, but for me, the giveaway is really more of a thank you to you guys versus gaining subscribers or anything like that. So I thought this would be a cool way for me to be able to still do an August giveaway, because it is literally August 31st, and be able to give some things out in this series, but not have to, honestly, wait around for responses. Because, yeah, I need to move forward, because I also have a September giveaway planned. So, yeah. So, Home with Feisty, go ahead and DM me via Instagram with your address. Guys, this was a hot mess, and I'm so sorry, but it's real life. So, you know, my frustrations hopefully will lessen some of yours. Stay tuned for next week as we get into the next 2 strokes for the beginning part of this series. Again, we're not even in the connections or anything like that, and that certainly was shown in this video here. But that's it for me for now, and as always, aloha.